So today in Signals, the Discord made like $1,400 today, $1,300 off of the same strategy. So I'm going to teach you this exact strategy. It's very easy, it's very simple, and it's not hard to understand. So um, let's just get into basically everything. So right now I have these red lines. These red lines are just levels that I did sell at. That wasn't all the way at TP. But let's just talk about the white lines first. So first of all, you see these white lines, and you may ask yourself, what do they mean? So basically what they mean is the support and the resistance within the 15 minute. So I could have marked one right here, but I did like this level more. And then on the 1 hour, we have a resistance right here. Yeah, resistance, and we have a support right here. So I marked down these levels just in case we see some high volume going into those levels. Sometimes it shows, sometimes it doesn't. So with this strategy is basically trying to find what is it? Trying to find like the best possible spot to buy in a which would be the lowest, and the highest part to sell, which would be the highest. So supply and demand, trying to find the supply and selling in demand. Well, what I'm basically saying is you buying low, selling high. So that's basically what it is. It's very easy, so it's not hard to understand. And the only thing that you really need with this strategy is patience. If you don't have patience, if you understand the strategy, you will still make money. And I'm about to show you a trade with patience and without patience. So this trade was somewhat without patience, but still in a good position. So the first thing that you want to turn on is your volume weighted average price. As long as you got that on, you'll be able to find like some of the core levels with SPY. So with this trade, what I wanted to do is buy a call at the lowest part of the day. So I wanted to come to buy at this level or buy outside of the VWAP levels. And then buying outside of the VWAP levels, what's more profitable for me is when we trade at the end of an hour. So if you see, that's exactly what we did right here. It was the end of the hour, and then that's when we started to buy our calls. Because like these hour candles, they don't just move in one direction. They go in both directions. So it's hard to like stay in a trade for a whole hour and you're buying at that candle and not making any money if it's the opposite direction. So basically this whole wick is what we were searching for, and I'm about to show you even more detail. So once you have this level right here, these the green arrow, then we have the blue VWAP. This is the VWAP, and this is like a couple percent down from the VWAP. And anything outside of these levels means that it's oversold or overbought. Whenever you're trading with VWAP, it's more profitable to trade with calls instead of puts. It will still work with puts. Like, for example, we have these levels right here. But like what you really want to look for is that end of the hour. And then you see that it's outside of the level at the end of the hour, and then price start falling down. So that is what really matters, trading at the end of the hour. And when I say the end of the hour, I will typically wait till at least, like, I wouldn't really trade the 650. Sometimes it does show, sometimes it doesn't. But from my experience, 750, 850, 950, and 1050. If you trade within those hours and it's calls and it's underpriced, you're going to there's a good chance that you're going to win that trade. Like here, go for another example, 1050, and it's outside of the VWAP levels. We had price come inside the VWAP range and above this resistance that we have marked right here. So those are the indicators that I use. If you're wondering what VWAP is, let me see if anybody said any questions. Hey, that's really good you started your detailing business. I hope that is doing good. I know it's gonna take a while for it to build up, but hey, you probably make a lot of money. But VWAP is basically volume weighted average price. So that's basically the volume and the average price combined together. It's similar to EMAs. Sometimes I use EMAs. I don't have it favorited. But from my experience, trading with, like, I can trade with VWAP alone just because I believe in the levels and I know a lot of other traders believe in the levels. So that's exactly what we did. We got into this trade at 757 and we was at the lowest part of the day. So our option contracts was very cheap. Um, they was very cheap. Like it was very easy to get like up in profit, and we didn't have to worry about time decay because we're buying at the end of the hour and we're buying when the contracts are hitting new lows of the day. So that's exactly what I did with this trade. I bought at the end of the hour and I had my TP set a little bit under here, but this is what I would do if I wasn't trying to be greedy. What would be more safe is having a TP within the range, because if you're in the range, you're going to be up like 20-30%. Then having another TP at this VWAP level, then outside of the VWAP level. So those three different TPs that you could set, and depending on where you're at as a trader, like you can start with this level is going to be the easiest one. It's going to be very hard for you to lose. Then if you want to risk more, you can sell some, and that's what I have red lines that I deleted earlier. I don't know if it's going to show in a video, but those are places that I sell because we're trading with the trend. Like since price is oversold, we want to get it to like an average level, because this is SPY average on the VWAP. This is SPY natural average price. So there's gonna be days where like the price keeps on going down or the price just keeps on going up. That's just trend, and it's best to trade with trend. Or if you're not trading with trend, me personally, sometimes I trade with trend, but what I like personally more is buying outside of these VWAP levels and then selling them within the VWAP levels, because now it's at a stable enough price. So we catch it when it's oversold and overbought. And the only time to do it when it's overbought is when you go on SPY biggest holdings. So you got Nvidia, Meta, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Tesla, and you want to see if the days, like if some of them are up 2, 3, 4, 5%. Like right now, Apple is the only one that's up, so it's going to be more easier to trade puts. That's how I determine a trend. But there's still levels. Like if SPY is over sold, we can still buy some calls to make money, and that's exactly what we did with this trade. And this trade was $420. So, do you guys have any questions on like why I bought or sold? Do you always wait for the lowest part of the trade? Yeah, so like I said, depending on where you're at as a trader, me personally, if you're a beginner trader, it's best to like start trading safe, then get the ball rolling, then you can start risking more. So if you were a beginner trader and you don't even have a profitable strategy, or you're trying to figure things out, wait till the lowest part of the day. That would be the best, specifically on SPY. And you will see the after hours, and you see the just the whole after hours, and you want to wait until the lowest part of the day. And if you buy calls at that level and it's outside of the VWAP level and a new hour is just starting, like right here you see it's 8:04, the hour just started, it's 4 minutes in. It would be way more profitable to do that with calls than puts. You could make money with puts, but it's like some days you're gonna lose. But if you having good risk management, you will most definitely profit off of it. Like for example, I wanted to hit this blue VWAP, but if you go on a 15 minute, well 1 hour, let's see. On a 1 hour, it did already hit the VWAP. So it's like we was in selling positions just because we was holding for a while. But it's like the more you hold, the more money you could make, because there's days where price could just do a complete reverse. Right now, it just got stuck on a downside. Let me see if anybody asked any questions. No questions? Doesn't seem like it. Okay, so buying outside of the VWAP and then selling within the VWAP, those are going to be the best ways to make money. It's very easy. That's whenever I say best, I say easy. So it's like don't really gotta worry about it. The reason why I set my TP, like my stop loss down here, is because I knew I bought a little bit early, but I knew this was going to be a profitable trade. So I bought the trade, I bought the calls, and then you see price almost come down to my level, but it's the start of the hour. I wanted to at least give it to at least 8:30 before I sold, and then at 8:30 we're already in profit, and we just basically breaking through these levels. We broke through this resistance, which is now they're treating as support, and we broke through the VWAP level to get to the average price of the SPY. So it's basically seeing the price come out of the levels and selling it within the levels, or even you can hold runners above the level. Now I'm gonna show you another example. This has patience. So this was another trade. This trade made over 900, basically $1,000, $980. So the only difference with this trade is you can see that we hit the lowest part of the level, the lowest part of the day, and price kept on going down. So this is the ticker on this is QQQ. So QQQ is going to be just a little bit more different than SPY. So that's exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to get that good position on SPY, because we will most likely make way more money on QQQ, because it's, you can see how oversold it is, and we sold literally at the same spots, and this one specifically made $980 off of just one trade, and this was like a 40-minute trade. So like $900, $980 in an hour just from waiting. So this was an exclusive trade. I have different traders posting their trades now, and this one went up pretty good. Let me see the trades. Like every trade that we did post this week, we did win. Or like if I didn't win, the other trader won, which makes everything way more profitable. So yeah, this one was a pretty good trade, like with QQQ, because now we don't have one trade a day, we have two. And then they had similar, the same strategy, and we got to double our makings. So it's very simple. I was live when I was talking about this. Definitely with SPY, I was explaining how we're going to just wait. But what I wanted to do is buy at the 750s. That's exactly why I bought a little earlier and put my stop loss down here. Because sometimes it wouldn't go all the way down, but it would be outside of that VWAP level. What I noticed is whenever price go outside of the VWAP level, it's going to find its way back inside. And like, yeah, we didn't get a bigger, like a way more bigger win, but there's most likely next week we'll see the same position and we're gonna take it. And like, for example, I'm gonna show you some trades where it did happen. So this is something that I'm talking about with like with puts. It's outside of the VWAP level and it's getting bought. But once it comes down to that 750 range, it's outside of VWAP level, so you could potentially buy puts. But that's what the 750s are for. Like right here, this was the highest part of the day, but it kept on breaking through. Now we're gonna go to this day specifically. Price did come outside the VWAP levels, but it was just a wick on the 1 minute. So it was probably micro sellers or buyers, and they bought it right back up inside of the VWAP. So hitting people's stop losses so they can get the position and be in calls. But like if we come to a 750 range, we don't get any levels. But right here, you see price come outside of the VWAP range, then quickly falls back down. Now here go a day right here. So Tuesday, we do have this level right here, and it is 1046, but it's the lowest part of the day. Some people would have probably bought, or some people would have probably waited until 750. So 750, you have a 597.84 to a 598. So 8. That's like $1 gain right there. And since we're trading options, we could have held above and got to the VWAP level. That would have been a losing trade. But realistically, if you go up $1, that's already 30%, 30, 40%, 30, 40, 50%, depending on what contract you buy, because this reversed pretty quick. Now, let's just say that day you do lose, you would have made your money back this day with puts. So throughout the week, you may lose a couple of times, but you're going to most definitely, thank you. You're going to most definitely win majority of your trades if you use VWAP you use VWAP, and not only just VWAP, you also find the lowest parts of the days and highest parts of the days. And buying at the end of the hour. It's really a time thing because it's going to be way more easier to go through a whole hour wick. Like for example, we see the price open up right here, close right here. And this is a day where price goes more down, but depending on where, if you bought at the like in the middle of this hour, the next hour would have brought you back in profit. So it's very simple. It's not hard at all. That's exactly how I made money today, and how the other member made money today, and how majority of everybody who took the trade made money today. It's not too difficult. It's very easy to me, but if you don't understand, you can ask any questions. And like if nobody asks questions, most likely that means I explained it pretty good. No questions? All right, chat. I think that's, oh wait. Yeah, no questions. Oh, it kind of depends on like how much I'm trying to make within a day. So, for example, let's just go with QQQ. With this stop loss, we didn't really have to worry about it, but let's say if you did have to worry about it. Majority of the times, I'm willing to risk like damn near 30-40% per trade, just because a lot of the trades that I'm going to win with is going to get me 60 to 100%. And then on top of that, you don't like really lose a lot if you're trading like strategically. So when I say strategically, having multiple stop loss, having multiple take profits, because one thing you don't want to do is sell, then have it reversed later on, which happens quite often. So with the stop loss, I wouldn't even say I'm too strict. Like for example, if this hit my stop loss, it's really more so about the times. Because like for example, about to show you the best example right now. The way I learned this strategy is through back testing. And if you think about it, this would be a minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minute, 6 minute. But when you're going fast like this, you start to see like a lot of stuff is happening within a day, and then it goes up and then it goes down. You don't want to really get tricked out on those downs. Like for example, we made a newer high from this spot. Or here go a pretty good example. It seems like price literally took people out of what is this? Outside of calls, and then it did get bought up right after that. and then price started to reverse. That was all in a matter of like 3-5 seconds, but this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That was 9 minutes. In 9 minutes, just staring at the chart does feel like a long time. And then every movement is like every second. You can move like this, right? On 10x speed, and you're going to see a lot of stuff happening. Whenever you're back testing, you really don't have that same time sense. But whenever you're trading, that time, the patience is going to hit way more harder. So that's exactly why I trade like with the times and the time frames. So with the 1 hour, that's why I specifically wait for the end of the 1 hour so we can get a huge candle. Or like for example, with the 1 hour right here, you wait till that 1 hour so we can get a huge candle. And we're going to get a wick no matter what. You get what I'm saying? We're not going to just get a whole hour going down. And if you do, you're not going to get that every single day. So the win rate, the win percentage with this strategy is way more higher with calls. So maybe because we're in a pretty solid market right now, even with all of the news. But that's how I determine my stop losses, is really with the times. So when you see the price comes down to the low of the day and it retest it, that's when you enter. No, I don't. I don't enter on a retest. I enter literally if the time is correct and the candle is closing. The 1 hour is closing. That's what I would do, and it works very well. And like you would have, like for example, where you can determine your TP is pitting the TP at its VWAP. And the higher the time frame, the lower, the better it could possibly work out. So like for on a 2 hour time frame, you see price keep on hitting its VWAP. So if you bought at the end of this and held to the VWAP, you would have got a pretty solid trade. That would have been a whole dollar and a little bit more. And that's on a 2 hour. So it's really just the time and the price. That's how I determine like the trades. Thanks. All right, good. I'm glad that you understand. And I hope like that made it more understandable that he asked the question. Is there any other questions before I get off? Because I felt like I explained this and there's kind of nothing to explain about it. Just want to make sure everybody gets it, and then you guys can literally make money from it. It's so easy. Alright, looks like everybody is pretty solid. Alright, thank you guys for joining, and if you guys do want to upgrade, I do offer a 2-day free trial where you get the signals, you get my signals only, but you get the same exact trade. So you would have got this trade literally for only $50 a month, which is only signals. I don't normally go live on there. I go live on my upgraded version. But if you want to join the community where we go live every single day, and pretty fun. We got different traders. Some makes thousands of dollars a day. Some makes hundreds. Some makes 50s. It's just a whole community. You can join that. It'd be pretty fun. But yeah, that's the video in the stream. If you guys have any more questions, just comment and I'll respond to them. And I'll explain it pretty well. But yeah, this is the strategy that's going to turn $1,000 into $10,000. So we're 4% done with this. All right, peace out, guys.